Welcome back to the Say Wallahi podcast. I want to first and foremost extend my deepest apologies to all of our concurrent listeners who we have abandoned. I just want to let you guys know that I'm not the one to blame. My brother here, Mohammed, do you want to speak for yourself, or should I?
I don't know what you're talking about. You're avoiding the blame. You didn't.
I'm shifting it.
Shifting the blame, man. Annie, I was here all year long. I did not even go anywhere. Anyways.
So anyway, we wanted to first and foremost just get that out of the way. We understand the producer as well as Mohammed aren't really as engaged on social media as far as the podcast is concerned. So all of the direct messages have been coming to me, and I've been kind of dealing with that fallout a bit there. We dropped 4 or 5 episodes, and then we kind of just took a hiatus there shortly. But to kind of briefly recap the previous episodes, for the most part, the Say Wallahi podcast deals with the history of Somalia and takes care of regarding its people, its culture, its customs, and each episode focused on a specific time, and we kind of went in chronological order as far as the history of Somalia was concerned. We set up the backdrop, where Somalia located on the globe, what are the people, what is the makeup, what religion do they practice, things like that. We covered all of this in previous episodes. With this episode, we're going to do a bit of rebranding, as they say, and we're going to try and move forward, rejuvenated, refreshed, and have a brand new concept ready for you as a listener. We kind of underestimated the amount of work that goes into the research and the proper etiquette that goes into each episode. We provided facts to you all as the listener, and kind of moving forward a bit, we're going to bring in a bit more of our opinion and our own takes, our own hot takes on things, as it were, right? We want to entertain you at the same time, and that's what we hope to do moving forward. And that's my goal as far as the Say Wallahi podcast moving forward. Mohammed, do you?
Yeah, no, exactly. You summed it up. وحدا وكهذا أنا ما بدنا كهذا Soomaaliya taariikhdeeda waxyaalaha ka hadalna waxaa kamid ahayd Soomaalida inay ahayn dad Carab ka imaadeen dad Afrikaan boqolna Afrikaan ahayn wuxuu ahaa taariikhdeena inay ka badan tahay 1400 sano diinta Islaamka intii soo gaartay maxaa kale diinta Islaamka inay soo gaartay waqti hore wadamada ugu horeeya kamid ahayn oo diinta Islaamka soo gaartay wuxuu ahaa taariikhdeena inay ka dheer tahay adiga 2000 sano wax ka badan inay dhulka Soomaaliya hadda loo yaqaano inay ummad iyo dad dignaayeen dadkaas hadii yihiin dad oo Soomaali ahaan jireen mise dad ka guureen hadeer waa waxyaalo oo wali boqol la hubin laakiin waxa la hubaa dhulka in la dignaa 2000 sano wax ku dhow faraacinta inay Soomaalida isla shaqeyn jireen waxaas inaan ka soo hadalnay wuxuu ahaa inta istaajin dubitaanka xalqad cusub waxaa nagu dambeysay anagoo soo gaarnay
we stopped kind of just before we were going to introduce the Sultanate kingdoms in Somalia.
Ajuran,
Majartan, the Adal Sultanate. Before we were going to introduce those kingdoms to the podcast, we kind of stopped right there and disappeared on you.
Because research
yeah, the research is a pretty heavy, a lot of research that goes into it. But like I said, this is a rebranding. We're going to just talk. We're not going to limit ourselves by a timeline or chronological order. Whatever's happening in Somalia, there's still going to be an African Somali-based podcast. We're going to be talking about Somalia, things that directly impact the Somali people as well as the country. With that being said, I'm going to just cut right straight to the episode and talk about what's on my mind as far as Somalia goes. Right now, I'm seeing a lot in the news is that Somalia, the president of Somalia, is doing a lot of deals, and a lot of hands are being shook between Eritrea, Somalia, and Ethiopia right now. And people are kind of split down the middle. You know, you have people on one side that are saying, "Oh, Somalia and Ethiopia, we have a lot of history that's not so good. So why are we even dealing with these people? Get out of here." And you have a lot of other people that are saying, "Leave that in the past. Let's move forward. It's a brand new world. It's all about building alliances and moving forward."
horta hore mucaarad markas lama waanayo laakiin Soomaalidana waxa u mudaa waxa noqonay ummad oo mucaarad leh wax kasto mucaarada ku nahnay hadda maanta dawladda Soomaaliya oo la heshiinayso Ethiopia iyo Eritrea isku keenayso oo ka hadlaysa sidii aan muxuu ahaa wadanka loo hagaajin lahaa iyo isla wada shaqeyn lahaa oo nabad iyo laga shaqeynayo muxuu ahaa mustaqbalka ummadda iyo waxyaalo badan see loogu soo horjeedi karaa muxuu ahaa arintaas camal see loogu soo horjeedi karaa
how can you find any negative against
negative waxay la tahay aniga marka waa it's all calool u shaqeysato midkoo calool u shaqeysato oo dawladda ka soo horjeedo wuxuu helin muxuu ahaa wuxuu rabay marka arintu wuxuu ka dhigaa intuu arinta ka dhigi lahaa asaga intuu ka dhigi lahaa yani intuu lagu garan lahaa inuu ka soo horjeedo dawladda because of selfish matters wuxuu ka dhigaa arinta
some other excuse
waa saas oo kale weligeed Soomaaliya saas ahayd and warlordska
self interest
iyaga calooshooda u shaqeysanayaan markaasi magaca qabiilka sheeganayaan ama magaca wadanka sheeganayaan magaca waxay sheeganayaan wax oo ummadda dhan ka dhaxeeyo farmaajo wuxuu ku leeyihiin waa
he's doing
ka saarena qalad uu suubinoya dawladdu ka soo horjeeda waxaana dhici karta inay tahay wax ay iyaga rabeen shakhsiyad ahaan iyaga waxay rabeen inay heleen markaas waxay u bedelayaan wax oo ummadda dhan wax dhibaato u keenaysa
for some people it's just the size of the chair, you know. Some people they just want to seem like they have a power when reality they don't have any power. They want to go against what's in the interest of the government, and they're working for themselves for no reason. I literally, Fede, last time I was in Somalia was when I was born, 1989. I came over here to the U.S. and that was it. That's all she wrote. You, on the other hand, you have a bit of more history. When did you come to the States?
98. No, States 98 man. It was Somalia 98 udun bes. States 2006. 5-6.
But you were in Somalia up until 98. So you're like what, 9 or 8 years old when you left, or
11, 12.
Why are you trying to age yourself, man?
I'm old, man. Super old, man. Marka balakin maya muxuu ahaa wadanka aniga xataa mar hore ugu dambeysay adiga ma sheegan kartid because what dhalato soo baxday. You took a flight right away.
Yeah, I'm out, man.
You know, you come to the world and you said no, I'm
not risking it, bro. I knew better.
Marka adiga Soomaali inuu sheegay bo shakiya ku jirto inuu Soomaali.
What do you mean, man? That's totally unacceptable. I do not agree.
What makes you Somali?
What do you mean what makes you Somali? My blood makes me Somali. The food I ate growing up. You know how much digir I killed in my life?
Digir ambula bris.
Yeah.
Misa ambula kligid.
Otka
maxaa la?
How much I killed that? Anjero malawah. Get out of here, man.
Luqmat iraha dadka roqoyiga.
Okay, so you want to get into the definition of what makes a Somali Somali.
That's
what makes you claim that you can be Somali if all you ever know.
Somali ka dhigayo haduu ma qabiilkiisa ba ka dhigayo Somali ma dhiigiisa hada dhiig kugu jiro ma Somali ka dhigayo misi waxa tahay meesha aad ku kortaa tahay. So for example hada ciyaalka inta ku dhashay and hadii Somali weligood arkin are they Somali?
Of course. Look, you're literally going down the type of conversation that like those all lives matter people go down, where they say I identify with you know we're all human, we're humanists. You can't escape what you are at the end of the day. If I look at you and I see and you're speaking the language and you're walking and talking and acting
that's
like
what I want to get to.
Does
the language make you Somali? If you don't have the language, if you weren't born in Somalia, Feria Somali kuma dhalan luqadii ma haysatid muxuu ahaa maxaa kale ku darnaa taariikhda Soomaaliya waxa ka ogtahay male
you know anything
dad Soomaali asxaabtaada Soomaali kuma jiraan wadanka whether it's Ingiriiska whether it's Europe meelaha kale Europe or American Australia luqadaas iyo wadankaas la qabsatay. Are you still Somali? You can be ethnically Somali but laakiin ma Somali baa tahay maxaa Somali ka dhigo qofka maxaa Somali ka dhigo.
So your argument basically is stating that if I go to university and I take a course in Somali the language and I learn Somali I can claim just like you because you're saying language is the limit.
أنا سؤالك كأنه يا answer كل ما شيء يعني my opinion كي.
What makes you Somali?
سؤال شو حواي محا Somali كهذا جوي أديك محا Somali كهذا جوي just the fact that inuu muxuu ahaa dhiig Soomaali kugu jiro ma Soomaali ka dhigayo
Yes, automatic.
with zero language, zero of Somali,
Automatic.
zero muxuu ahaa taariikh Soomaali weligaa Soomaali ma arkin.
Automatic.
You're still Somali.
You're still Somali, automatic.
Okay.
And no matter how far away you get from it, you cannot escape your identity and what you are.
My opinion is you're still Somali, but waxaa tahay
Well, with the asterisk?
Somali-
With the asterisk?
with the asterisk.
With the asterisk.
The lowest level of Somaliness at tahay. Because
That's so messed up.
all you can claim is the blood.
That's
awogayga Somali aha ama aabahayga Somali aha ashigunaysa kaliya. Laakiin to me, what makes you Somali, what makes you Arab, what makes you African, what makes you wadanka iyo meesha ka imaaday is first and foremost, the most important thing is luqadaada in aa ku hadashid. Labo inaad dhaqankaagana xoogaa haysatid. Labadooda haddii kaa maqan yihiin, in my opinion ma sheegan kartid Soomaalinimada. Haddaa sheeganaysidna waa inaa level hoose isgeysaa oo la mid ahayn muxuu ahaa Soomaalida oo wadanka degan iyo Soomaalida af Soomaaliga ku hadlaan oo af Soomaali ku qoraan oo af Soomaali wax kasta ku subsadaan.
So you're putting criteria on people who's really down. So basically, you're making the same type of arguments that other people make that in Africa, people that make about Somalia or the East African bloc. Some other African countries, they look at East Africa and say, you're not really black. Arab is your official language in your country. It's one of the official languages in your country. You're putting criteria on people. People put criteria, are you black enough? People put criteria like that. You're putting criteria how to saying, are you Somali enough? You can't define what somebody is at the end of the day. If they choose to claim that they're Somali and they have the right pedigree of, hey, my parents, my grandparents, such and such person was Somali. I don't care if I'm half Somali, a quarter Somali, whatever it is, I'm still Somali. What I choose to identify as. There's people who are, there's a podcast, the Abuan Chronicles, that they had a beautiful episode where they brought on a few guest panelist members. There's one guy named ATL Al-Daha. Yemeni is Somali. They have a long history in the country, yeah? Yemen and Somalia, all the history that they have together, a lot of people getting married, having children. Those people, you can't sit there and tell them, you're not Somali, or you're this, or you're a different degree of Somali. If they were raised by their Yemeni side of their family and they had no interactions with Somali people, if they chose to identify, even if they don't choose,
agree with that.
even if they don't choose, they're still Somali.
I think, no, you don't choose to just say I am Somali, or you don't choose to just say I'm American. If it's only by choice, then everybody can choose whatever they want to be.
But if you actually are, like if you actually have so Hadda, let me give you a scenario, okay? I'm Mohammed, hypothetically. My parent is Adan, right? My mother's Somali, my father's white. I grew up with my father's side of the family, all white. I'd never had any interactions with Somali people. But one day, out of college, I decided, you know what? I'm going to go visit my motherland, literally. I'm going to go see Hoide, and I'm going to go try to see Somalia. If I land in Somalia, you're going to tell me, look at me in my face and say, you're not...
Absolutely 125%.
See, this is the beauty. This is the beautiful thing about...
Why? First of all...
Like, I swear, we're so different.
Soomaalida dhaqankeeda waxaa waaye aabaha ku abtirsanaysa. So...
You go with the dad. I know.
Hypotheticals ka hadloosid. Soomaalida abtiyaal u yihiin. Soomaali ma sheegan karo. But abtiyaal u yihiin.
You're so rigid.
Ma sheegan karo Soomaali qofkaas.
What do you mean you say kare?
You cannot.
You're so rigid. Well, by what logic and what rules are you
running
with?
Gabar Soomaali ah Mareykan imaaday. Nin cadaan ay guursatay. Cunugii dhashay. Cunugaas Soomaali ma aha. Abtiya unahan cunugaas. We're uncles to that child.
Yo, I feel so uncomfortable. I feel so uncomfortable.
What do you mean?
I feel so
uncomfortable. It's just the reality.
This is not...
It is the reality.
No.
Cunugaas haddii magac Maxamed u bixisa xataa kole wuxuu ku abtirsanaa Michael iyo John iyo Heblow ku abtirsanaa iyo McGregor iyo waxa loo joogana ku abtirsanaa. Soo maaha. But the reality is,
you're putting so much criteria.
Somali ahan, we are an agnatic malaha. Agnatic with the term in English, which is abtiriskena is based on the father's side. So
that's the patriarchy talking.
Exactly,
man. That's the patriarchy, man.
Well,
it's the patriarchy talking, man.
Patriarchy. I do not some kushakay patriarchy.
Yeah, that's the patriarchy.
I do not patriarchy some kushakay.
All I know,
we can get into the feminism idea.
Yeah, all I know is this.
But I do not kushakay patriarchy to some degree.
Yeah. All I know is this. Yeah. All I know is this. Period. All I know is that you cannot delineate or define someone else's what they choose to be or identify themselves as. You can't do it. You can't sit here and
Okay,
no.
okay.
I'm talking about as far as the within the conversation that we're having. I'm not going to the big other discussion you want to take it to. I know I can see it in your eyes. All I mean is that if I have literally Somali in my blood, I have a parent, I have a grandparent, I have a freaking great grandparent who is Somali. I can still say, yo, I'm Somali. This is what I.
kuma diiday taas waxaa ku dhahay taas kuma diiday hadduu dhiigaaga Soomaali ku jiro oo aabahaaga Soomaali ahaa kuma diiday inaan Soomaali ahayn laakiin haddii waxa haysatid Soomaalinimada dhan wax kaaga har hadduu yahay aabahayga Soomaali ahaa ama awowgayga Soomaali ahaa haddii Soomaalinimada dhan halaas kaaga hartay Soomaaliga caadiga oo wadanka ku dhashtay wadanka ku koray luqadiisa Soomaali wax kasta Soomaali lama matihid if I was if I was forming dawladda Soomaaliya maanta hadii la dhaho Maxamedow dawladda Soomaaliya adiga maamulaysid citizenka iyo dadka wadanka deganna kala qaybi sidii xaq u lahaanayaan waxa dhihi lahaa dadka wadanka degan oo af Soomaali ku hadlaan af Soomaali ku soo koreen wadan ku soo koreen citizen way dadka dibadda ka imaanayaan oo Soomaali ahaayeen waxa imtixaan saarana waa inay luqadda bartaan Soomaali inay bartaan waay waa inay dhaqanka Soomaali bartaan waa inay taariikhda Soomaali bartaan
so okay
it's the same idea as Maraykan marka imaanay
we came to America nobody enforces
we came to America in order for us to become a citizen of the United States waxa qaadana imtixaan
of course
we take a test that the rest of the citizens do not take dadka wadanka u dhashteen Maraykan u dhashteen ma qaataan imtixaankaas any immigrant American imaado oo 10 sano degan wadanka 50 years hadda degan tahay hata you're going to take a 100 question test
and they only ask like 30 questions out of the 100
and imtixaankaas
I took it man
and you have to write in English you have to speak in English so why not enforce the same exact concept?
nobody's gonna make that argument
because Somalia maanta nabad hadii noqoto which is inshallah and let's say 10 years from now Somalia nabad noqoto
Somalia's already on the rise man don't kill us man
we're
on the rise bro
let's say 5 years
3 years man
very optimistic muxuu ahaa dawladii noqotay then we have a very 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 tough question to answer
because a lot of diaspora people are going to come back
so how diaspora markay wadan ku soo noqdaan dhaqanada iyo waxyaalaha soo barteen la imaanayaan philosophy soo barteen la imaanayaan that does not fit the dhaqanka Soomaalida so how are you going to reconcile that how are you going to reconcile a Somali Swedish oo weligiis af Soomaali aan ku hadlin oo and buuq iyo juuq iyo buuq ku hadlooyo and then comes to Somalia right comes to Somalia
I apologize to all our Swedish listeners
sorry I'm just making it
the Finnish language is a beautiful language
it's a very beautiful language I agree I like it but that's how it sounds anyways so markuu imaado wadanka imaado Swedish wuxuu la imaanaa the Swedish tradition kan carabka oo carab ku soo koreeyo oo Soomaaliya ka tagay wuxuu la imaanaa af carabi la imaanaa oo muxuu ahaa kuwaas ugu daran boorto kan carabiga la imaanaa ugu daran because carabiga diinteena iyo dhaqankeena ku jirta so they can mix it maanta dhan and carabiga horta hore it's more and I should say iga ugu daran they'll be more and
hardcore a little bit
in dhaqanka si fiican af Soomaaliga dhan uu si baabao waxa ka soo jeeda so diaspora markay soo noqdaan sidee u maamuleynaa and how are we going to govern ourselves hadda one of the biggest things ee Soomaalida ka hadlaan waxa kamid dawladda Soomaaliya hadda aragtid Farmaajo beautiful Farmaajo I agree with his policies lakin nin Maraykan waay the prime minister Norwegian waay kan ku sii xogo
they all have foreign passports
plan B haysta kulwood wadanka waxa maamuloyo the people that are trying to bring the country together are people that personal life code they have plan B in case the shit in Somalia doesn't work out
they can literally exit strategy
they can literally diyaaradooda qaadanayaan wadankooda kale sheeganayaan like the rest of dadka wadanka degan plan B ma haystaan plan A gooda waxa waaye the only plan they haystaan waxa waaye Somalia the only thing
so
that they wanna
if I'm understanding you correctly I hope what you're not trying to say is that we can't be governed by people who have dual citizenship or have...
We can't.
Why not?
We should not. Especially right now. Especially
you're putting on way too many criteria on a country that's literally coming out of the darkness. It's starting to rise. Things are starting to change and come to a better light in
It will
Somalia.
change much better if we implement a criteria saying, in order for you to become a president of the of Somalia, you cannot hold allegiance to another country. It's the same.
It's not about having an allegiance to another country.
Having a citizenship in another country, you have an allegiance to the other country.
Wow.
If I am an American and I and go to another country and be the highest office of that country, that's a dilemma.
You're saying it's a conflict of interest?
Of course. Of course.
That's not...
Either you're holding up the interest of Somalia at the highest level, or you're holding up the interest of American at the highest level. Choose. You need to choose. You cannot.
You know when John Kennedy was becoming president? They literally told him, you have to relinquish your... Because you just reminded me. John Kennedy, when he was running for president, the main argument against him becoming president was that he was Catholic. And they thought, and they believed, the American people believed, that he was going to take orders from the Pope, and that he couldn't become president because he holds his allegiance to the Catholic faith. He holds his allegiance to the Pope. We can't have this guy in office. So the conflict of interest is the proper argument to have. However, Mohammed, you can make these type of arguments to a country that's on all four legs. Right now, on a chair, Somalia is just putting its one leg peg up there. It's starting to come up. They just released licenses to fishermen, to overseas fishing vessels to fish Somalia's oceans. Just now, legally, you guys have licenses to do so, right? Before that, there was no enforcement. There's certain areas in Somalia, I'm sure, that government officials cannot go into. You can't go into it, you know?
Right.
So, hadda now, we just literally are learning more and more about ourselves before we can change, and we can do better. We will do better, but to limit ourselves is a bit. I don't want to say it's
premature.
It's premature.
Okay,
we can make these arguments. They're not wrong arguments to make. Trust me and believe me. I see where you're coming from, especially the conflict of interest. It's true. These people, they have a plan B. And it's not right.
Okay.
You know? So we're going to take a small break here. And then when we come back, we had a heated discussion. We had a back and forth. You know, this is what the Say What Live podcast is going to be about moving forward. We wanted to entertain you. We want to hit you with some deep thoughts, hot takes, and we'll be right back with some questions from our listeners real quick here.
Somali waxaa qofkii wadanka u dhashay dhiig ahaan.
Somali waxaa cidii waalidkood Soomaali yahay meel kasta ha joogeen.
Aniga shakhsiyan deeq ahaan Soomaali inuu yahay waxa ka aaminsanahay qofka marka la weydiiyo maxaad haysataa baasaboorka Soomaaliya oo kaliya wato. Not qof wadan kale ka imaaday deganaansho kale haysto iyo ma ahan.
haddii qoomiyad dhax Soomaali waa badan yihiin Djibouti ay jirtay Kenya ay jirtay Ethiopia ay jirtay markasta ay jirtay Soomaalina dil dhax waxaan 18 gobol qofkii ku dhashay oo waalidkooda ku dhashay Israa'iil ku soo jeeda Soomaaliya
fikir ahaanteeda waxaan qabaa Soomaalinimadu inay tahay isir aysan ahayn dhaqan iyo sharci la qaato inaysan ahayn qofkii isirkiisa Soomaaliya baa Soomaaliya
maanta waxa Soomaaliya ninkii xuduudkii dadkan soo gumeystay ay sameeyeen xuduudkaasi intii ku dhashay oo ku nooleed oo ku kortay oo wax ku baratay ayaa Soomaaliya
carruurta aan dibadda ku dhashay waa dad Soomaaliya cidii marka dhihi doonto hadhowtii ciyaalkan kuma hadlaan af Soomaali ma aha waan ka fikir doon
Ethiopia ay Kenya qofka ku dhashay haduu baasaboorkooda haysto ani Soomaali ma yahan oo lambarka koowaad baasaboorkooda yahay laakiin ishaas ma qaxi idruufi dalkeena ka jirtay ku geesay uu ka soo laabtay uu yahay
qofkii oo wadanka ku dhalan hata Israa'iil aabis ku soo jeeday meel kale ku dhashay mise 5 fac meel kale ku dhashay Soomaali ahaanaya
mar haduu aabaha yahay wuxuu u baahan tahay inuu Soomaali yahay oo hooyada Soomaali ahayn way dhici kartaa qofkaas inuu isir Soomaali la dhihi karo waxa daranaa isleeyahay markii oo dhanka aabaha ay tahay inuu qofka aabiis uusan ahayn Soomaali taasal dhigi kara Soomaalinimada xoogaa waxa ku jiro
shaqada madaxdeena waxa ugu badan inay baasaboor ajnabi haystaan bari marka xilka ka tagno waan baxnaayo wadamadeena ku laabanaa marka xil raadiskana waa imaanayo magaaladii waxaan dadka dhinac ka raacnaa taas marka Soomaali ma dhihi karno laakiin qofka Muqdisho ku dhashay ama Soomaaliya ku dhashay haduu maanta xilka xitaa waayo at least gobolka ku soo jeeday xitaa ku laabto laakiin maaha inuu America iyo London aadaan
waxa Soomaaliya ninkii Soomaali u hiiliyo difaaco cod u noqdo ka fikir dhibaatada sidoo ugu bixin lahaa
aniga haddaan sheeganayo inaan ahay qof Ingiriis iyagana wax u diidayo ma leh haddii ay ka soo baxaan sharciga wadanka wuxuu qabo
Soomaali naturalized qofka wuu noqon karaa markii muddo uu deganaado sharci uu ku degan yahay dastuurka wixii uu ogolaado ayuu mataqaanaa
qofka ku dhashay waddanka Soomaaliya sinjiidu wuu heli karaa laakiin ma ahan Soomaali dhalad ah.
hadda dadka Soomaalida dibadda jira caruurahooda kale ma ka saayaan afka Soomaaliga oo si waadax ah qofka ugu hadlaayo laakiin way ogyihiin in jinsiyadooda ama dhalashadooda asal ay tahay waddan Soomaali la dhaho inay ka soo jeedaan.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome back and dhegeystayaal kusoo dhawaada again. Muxuu ahaa in xogaa su'aalo baa ka soo qaadanay and
My God, I feel like we had a whole nother episode that we just did off air. For
off
2
air,
seconds, yeah.
But we're gonna answer some of the questions that we got. Two questions mainly oo muxuu ahaa si fiican arinta aan ka hadlaynay si dawgaleen. Su'aasha koowaad waxay ahayd horta hore waxaa la dhahay why muxuu ahaa problemka iyo dhibaatooyinka kaliya uga hadloosiin solution uga hadlaladeen. Soomaali hadana badana waxa ka hadalnaa buuq jiro iyo dhibaatooyinka jiro bisa ka hadalnaa.
With no offering any solution. You only have to talk about the negative stuff. Qabil this, clan this. There's no solution to it.
Maxaa taas keenay su'aasha taas ahayd. Marka I'll answer and I'll let you answer from your own point of view. Aniga waxay la tahay horta there is a saying Einstein waad qana kii muxuu ahaa
equals MC square, man.
waxaa la dhahay if you had 1 hour to solve the problems of the world what would you do all dhahay wuxuu dhahay 1 hour haddaa haysan lahay dhahay I would have spent 59 minutes talking about the problem and 1 minute discussing the solution. What does that mean? So solutionka in order solutionka gaartid waa inaa marka hore define the problem that you have. Sometimes we think we know the problem that we have but we really don't. We just waa kururegna. So spending enough time actually or more time talking about the problem and less time discussing the solution is actually a right way of achieving and the goal that you want. Waxa rabta ina saxdid waa ina marka hore ogaataa waxa ku haysto. So solution hadda ku boodid then solution kaaga wuxuu noqonaa wax oo
it's going to crumble and fail.
Problem exactly solve graining. Marka and that's my answer to the question as far as and why a problem loo hadlaayo iyo muxuu ahaa solution ka uga hadluwan. Solution waa ka hadlaynaa marka hore inaan problem ka fahamnaa waxana haysto waa inaan si fiican u fahamnaa kadib solution.
And I totally agree with you on that note there because you have to know what questions you're answering and what problem you're solving in the first place, right? Somalia it's mired by misinformation for the most part, right? Whatever information floods out of Somalia to the diaspora, to the general public, the diaspora of Somalia that aren't really engaged with Somali politics for the most part, already have a warped sense of what Somalia is for the common person. They think Somalia is qabil, nepotism, corruption, all these negative things, but it's not detailed XYZ. This is exactly what's wrong with it. Clear-cut examples. This person got into a position of power instead of offering the job below them to somebody who's qualified for the position. They go and offer it to their younger brother or their uncle. Pure case of nepotism in Somalia, right?
It's actually part of the constitution.
The constitution, yeah.
And 4.2 4.2 it actually says and a percentage of the government so it's not about merit, it's not about local and qualified
just by your blood who you're related to. It has to be, the makeup has to be this. It's not by divisional areas electing people into office. It's hey, this area we just want this client or that client. Systematic. It's ingrained in the psyche of Somalia, the country, that is built to fail in a sense because the problems that we're facing, like you said, we have to clearly define them and solve them and not limit ourselves to where those solutions come from. If the solution comes from some, we want to model our government like such and such country in the West, or if we want to have states, if we want to break down Somalia into states and each state have his own rights and then each state build up a country and have his own constitution that every state has to follow and align itself with, following a model like that, or even brainstorming ideas to come to that conclusion and find some merit in it, we shouldn't limit where we get our solutions from. That's what I think. I think sometimes Somali people, we look at something, oh, Galanit is doing this or Qofkanit is doing this. Why don't we work out with our own culture and our own system? there's benefits to working with your own system and your own culture, but if you have 30 years not to show anything for it, it gets harder and harder to defend that position.
No, 30 years has not been 30 years or Somalia is struggling to come back to normalcy internally clear. It's actually has been foreign
foreign powers put in sanctions.
So it's not about only 30 years no has ku dayan ina and Somali solutions ina ukeno to Somali problems. No, it's actually has been 30 years full of foreign interference. So now the idea is define the problem ka hadal problem ka garo horto waxa ku haysto waa maxay ku haysto ma qabiil problem ma ku haysto ma qabiil dhan baba inana which I disagree with qabiil in la baba ma Somalia and ummada Soomaaliyeed qabyaalada ay leeyihiin iyo dhaqanka ay leeyihiin waa dhaqan fiican qabyaalada wax fiican ay leedahay badan.
It has benefits and merits to it.
muxuu ahaa inta xun in laga saaro inta fiican la hagaajiyo soo maaha.
They can separate, yeah.
see taas ku gaarana waa inaa ogaanaa problemkana haysato maanta I would argue qabyaalada wax yariisa ka leedahay wax ugu weyn waxa waaye musuq iyo corruption. That's the biggest thing. Yeah, that's the biggest thing. Tuga does not know qabil.
That's the biggest thing. He doesn't care. He's going to look for self-interest and how he can manipulate the people.
And adeerkiis walaalkiis qof kasto
it doesn't matter. Everybody can get it. Everybody can get it.
Tuga does not discriminate when it comes to qabyaalad and musuq kan ku jiro oo Soomaaliya dawladda Soomaaliya musuq ku jiro does not care about am I musuq ama corruption ka ku jiro does it affect my family. They don't care. They
self-interest, man.
Self-interest. So that's the number one problem Somalia has. So I would argue qabilka is being used
as a tool to say this is what exactly is wrong with it, and it distract. It's like the war on drugs in America, right? You say the war on drugs, even though drugs definitely don't have any benefit to it. But if you look at the way that Somali people distance themselves from things that even discussing the topic of qabil elicits a response from certain people to varying degrees. Some people say, let's not even talk about it. Hey, qabil, shut up. What are you talking about? We don't even have a problem with qabil. All lives matter. Shut up. Right? Some people take it to that degree. Other people say, no, qabil needs to stay. It has to be exactly the way it is. There has to be middle ground. And pushing aside from qabil, to your point, we had a lot of discussions off air that we're going to try and cut to here. A lot of good questions were brought up by our listeners on Snapchat. Thank you so much, Zakaria. Zach, you hooked us up with a lot of people who are on Snapchat who had a lot of engaging conversation, and we thank everyone in that discussion that was on there with us going back and forth. One of the major points that they brought up here that we had a big back and forth with was the fact that Somalia, the president, if you're holding a position of power, be it president or some type of governmental capacity, are you allowed to have your foreign nation's citizenship and hold dual citizenship or passport in another country? Is that something that's viable for you to run the country, or is there going to be a conflict of interest? That's one of the major points that everybody had some type of varying degrees of a disagreement. I myself stand firm in that if we set up criteria and parameters for who can hold public office or who can help aid Somalia progress in the way that it should, we're only going to limit ourselves to the detriment of Somalia as a whole, as a country. For the most part, Somalia, not to say that 15 out of the 15 million people in Somalia, you're not going to be able to find someone in there, a group of people, a collective that's going to be able to rise to the occasion and run their country effectively and lead the nation. We're not saying that. What we're saying is that there's people outside the country in the diaspora. Farmajo, as an example, the president of Somalia right now, who have learned abroad, studied, gotten degrees, want to come back and contribute in a big way. We don't want to limit the pool that we're drawing influences from. Somalia is a chair. It's literally getting its one leg. It's building a lot of amazing things. It's in the news a lot lately. It's gone on UN panels for human rights advocacy. It's releasing licenses for offshore fishing for the first time. It's impacting the world stage in a way that it hasn't done in the past. is just getting us one leg. We don't want to put criteria and crutches on it that limit the next 3 legs from holding up the chair.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay,
That's my
so
point.
that you're taking a very passive and you know محوها, in my opinion, and محوها, everything is should be available in the table.
Yeah. All
But-
options on the table, brother.
But if you're serious, if you're serious in having a country, and if you have a vision of what Somalia as a country would look like when Somalia nabad noqoto, then you have to have a criteria. You have to, by definition, have to have a criteria. What language is going to be the language that the people are going to speak? What and philosophy will be the predominant philosophy in the country? Yeah, philosophy wadanka qabsanayso.
Are we going to be secular? Or
Are we going to be secular nation? Are we going to be a nation and محوها that follows the and dinta to and to 1 degree محوها, and what kind of a country are we going to have? Exactly. So if you have a vision of what kind of a country are you going to have, then by definition you are going to have criteria. waxa u baahnanaysa ina dhahdid sana la subikra sana lama subikro. Waxa ka hadlay marka waxa waaye waa you cannot say aniga kama soo horjeeday dadka qurbaha joogo inay wadanka ku noqdaan xafiis u ordaan, kama soo horjeedno. Laakiin waxa ka soo horjeednaa Soomaaliya ka imaaday 20 sano ka hor, 20 sano waxaa jooga wadan kale shisheeye ah, luqadda wadankaasaa bartay, dhaqanka wadankaasaa bartay, mabda'a wadankaasaa bartay, philosophiga wadankaasaa bartay. Dan Soomaaliya ku noqday, and I want to be madaxweyne ama waxaa rabaa ra'iisul wasaare inaan noqdo, waa noqday, yah baasaboorka wadankii hore aa ka imaadana ma dhigay. That's a big no. Ama Soomaaliya tahay ama waxaa tahay muxuu ahaa wadankaas kale. Haddii aad tahay private citizen, haddaad tahay nin oo wadankiisa ku noqonayo oo baasaboor Maraykan haysto oo Soomaaliya ku noqonayo oo Soomaaliya baasaboor ka qaadanayo oo Soomaaliya iska degayo oo businesskiisa iska wadanayo qof private that's not a problem. Every country will be. Maraykan allows you to have a dual citizenship if you're in the population kale hadda ku jirtid. Like you cannot run for office and say and madaxweynaha Maraykan aan noqonaa, but I have also a loyalty in Canada. You can't say that.
Yeah, but
so
you're assuming
that's not a foreign concept.
It's not a foreign concept. But you're assuming that a passport is literally.
It's not an
I
assumption.
have to obey this.
It's not an assumption. When you take a passport, when you take a citizenship of the United States, what aranesa you محوها swear to say that you pledge the allegiance to anything or American anything in kasoo horjeeda wadanka waa kasoo horjeeda. That's absolutely fine. You should do that. Citizen of America tahay. You are a citizen of the United States. Okay? If you then go to another country as a private citizen and you say I am also a citizen of this country, that's fine. But you cannot be a head of state in both.
Conflict of interest. And that's the point that you're making. I
Exactly.
understand that.
Simple.
All right, we are back from the final break. So we discussed a lot of topics today, specifically pertaining to the country of Somalia in regards to the politics and the policies that are being implemented in the country, and what our thoughts are on it as far as some type of criteria that we have ourselves for what we would like to see in the country. Want to extend my gratitude to Zach and the fine fellow people at Snapchat. Shukri, Mo, Queen, all of you guys, amazing. We'll continue having discussions like this where the only way we can push forward with our country and our people is by having these discussions in general in a constructive way. The other point that I wanted to make about this episode as well is that if you feel offended by some of the things that anybody said on the show, we want to give you a bit of advice in life in general. You want to surround yourself with people who have opposing views from you. That's the only way you'll grow and develop and be able to defend your views in the long term. If you only hang around with people who have sharing views as you, you're just going to live in an echo chamber. You're not going to be challenged. You're not going to reconstruct your own thoughts and opinions around topics that you have. that's the bit of advice that I have as far as going forward with that. Muhammad and I differ on a lot of things, but at the end of the day, we can sit across from the table each other and have
absolutely
a normal conversation. We're not canceling each other out and saying, "Oh, this person has controversial views," or "This person has this. I don't agree with it, so get out of here." It's not that life. It's never that serious. We're here to grow. We're here to live, and inshallah, we'll progress together.
Exactly. That's exactly what I wanted to add as well, which is, well, you actually summed it up. Dadka and hadia same agreement, then you're not learning anything new. And even though we agree, there's some stuff that we disagree on. And as far as people getting offended, I hope we didn't say anything offensive to anybody.
My brother,
and,
you said
the other thing was about when I was making fun of the Swedish language. I don't think there's any Swedish people listening, but if they are listening,
we have family in Sweden that
I know our friends and family and the Swedish people. And
it's a Finnish language. You messed it up, man.
It's not Finnish. It's Swedish language. What are you talking
Swedish?
about?
We don't even know. Listen,
why you calling it Swedish language Finnish?
Listen, I just got recently 2005 was when I got over calling Chinese language. It's Mandarin. So you're probably
Mandarin and Cantonese.
See, look at that. So you progress and you move forward.
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure it's not called Swedish language.
It is called Swedish language.
Okay.
I think
Google it. Somebody Google
I think
it.
Swedish called
it's called
Swedish.
Finnish, man.
Swedish?
It's really called Swedish language.
What is Finnish language? You have a
One of our
language?
listeners are going to correct us.
You have a start language when you say Finnish language?
Wow. Wallah, you got dad jokes. You got dad jokes for anything.
I know what you mean by Finnish.
Finnish language.
But I mean and
no, but to our point, that was
exactly. It's a Swedish language, and that's we were just joking around.
Yeah.
So I hope the politically correct people don't get offended. You know, that's one thing about the society, which is there's so much political correctness. One thing I agree with Donald Trump, our president, is that we should not have the extensive political correctness. Because it's creating a culture of bubble ku jiraan.
But he's not the only one that
and they don't want their bubble to be burst.
Yeah.
Like if you joke around with people, oh, you're being this and this.
Yeah.
Oh, you're being this and this. Crazy. I'll give you example. And if you criticize your own people, Somali if we criticize each other, to some people and who are politically correct always, that sounds like wow, qalad weyn asu binu soo dadka dhan maxas ugu hadlaysa.
You're supposed to be ride or die, man.
Yeah, what has that?
You can't have different opinions.
One thing Donald Trump dadku soo jiito. One thing that Donald Trump
I feel uncomfortable you just saying his name over and over again.
No, we gotta be nuanced, malaha. What's the English word? Nuanced. Yeah, nuanced. You have to have a disagreement and agreement. Donald Trump, there's a lot of things that we disagree with him, but when it comes to political correctness, I agree with him to some degree. Because he takes it to another level, I know, but to some degree, the left has to drop the political correctness.
Fine folks on both sides, I don't. But yeah, to the larger point, we welcome you back to the podcast. This was the rebranding episode. That's the title of it. I want to see it in the title card. No more episode 1, 2, 3, 4. Abdulhamid, I'm talking to you directly. You know,
we're gonna
title it this time.
Citizenship in Somalia.
You know?
What is it?
So there's a lot of great topics and points that were made today, and we thank you for listening, and we hope to have you listen again in the future. And before we go, I'm going to briefly go into our social media accounts and link them here real quick. Our Twitter, the official Twitter of the podcast, is at Say Wallahi, and that's spelled WALLAHI, and then P as in Paul, DCST. That's Say Wallahi podcast on Twitter, and then it's the Say Wallahi podcast on Instagram, and then you can find us on iTunes as well as SoundCloud. It's all under the Say Wallahi podcast. We even have a few videos up on YouTube, although SoundCloud and iTunes is where podcasts normally go. So we look to hear from you guys there. And if you guys want to know more about us personally, my personal Twitter is Mohammed, MOHAMED, K as in kite, T as in Tom, S as in Sam, 2018. That's Mohammed KTS 2018 and that's on Twitter. You can direct message me, and we'll have a lively discussion and get all that out of the way. Mohammed, you can.
My Twitter, I know Twitter has started, which is at Hasan, yeah.
You're not the only one.
Yeah, you're not the only one, man.
Out here,
so
bro.
we say the at, right? That's how you.
Yeah.
Okay,
I guess so
the at is at Ali underscore Madobe, MADOBE.
Madobe.
Ali Madobe.
Oh.
I'm very dark, man.
The darkest man. That guy.
Very dark. You gotta and Somali badana speaking about the dark as another topic.
That's
Somali badana
colorism. Yeah, colorism is a lot. Listen, man, we're not gonna hold that.
That's another topic.
That's another discussion for another day.
That's a topic that we're gonna talk about. محوها Somalida and isqurqurxinayaan oo madownimadooda ka ordayaan. War madow
Diana, brother. I know.
It's crazy, man.
I like this format.
Anyways, Ali Madobe. Ali Madobe. Ali, I should say, ALI underscore Madobe. And
is that with a B? Is that a B in there?
Yes, B for book.
Yes. For book, okay. All right, so that's all of our socials. We look forward to hearing from you guys, and thank you so much for listening. Peace.